turn your volume up and we'll get started here. Good. All right, so welcome to your Tuesday practice, and just come down to your mat. Pull your knees into your chest. Yeah, and just take some nice, really deep breaths here. And notice where your breath lands when you inhale. If it's more in the low belly or under the ribs, or maybe you feel it stretching along the back body. And then as you exhale, just notice what might come back down to the floor or seem to spread a little bit. Good. We'll be here for just a few more breakfasts. We'll be here for a few more breaths. I must be hungry. A few more breaths here on our back. It's a couple more deep breaths in and out. Good. And then you're going to let your arms widen apart and let your knees drop over to the right. So you'll come down into your spinal twist. And you can have your gaze turn right or left, or have the gaze up. We'll take a few deep breaths there. So remembering that as we arrive into our practice, we allow ourselves to center through really just coming into what's happening now, right? Around you, in your space, in your mindset, your thoughts, in your body, and in your feeling tone. Okay, we'll take one more deep breath here in our spinal twist with knees to right. Good. And then your knees will come back to the center. And you can either hug them in or you can just let them fall off to the left. So whatever's more natural for you. And as you let those knees spill to the left, let your arms stay wide. It can be over your head if you'd like. You can always anchor your hand on your knees or thighs. And the gaze can be left, right, or up. And we'll take some nice, really deep breaths here too. Good. So feel the weight of your body against the floor. When we're working through twists, it's even more important to really focus on the exhales, at least a couple of times within each twist, so really underneath the twist. Good. Just two more here. Good. And then you'll come back to the center, and we're going to place our feet down onto the ground, and we're going to move through some flowing bridge work. So arms will be down by your side, the gaze is up, the chin is off the chest. Lengthen your tailbone. So I want you to press the low back into the ground, so you're reducing the lumbar curve, and you feel a little engagement in the groin, and you feel wide in your feet. Good. All right, shoulders are underneath you. Press down into the floor, and then reach your arms up overhead and let them spill back behind you. You'll just take a moment to kind of pull your thumbs and your first finger away from your wrist, away from the side body. Take another deep breath underneath it, pressing into your back of head and upper back. And then as you exhale, you'll really spill the spine down by laying it down slowly and arms coming down by your side. So I don't want you to feel like a board here. I want you to feel the natural wave and rhythm of the movement. So as you inhale, go ahead and lift up, arms lift up and reach behind you. Take a breath, hips are up. As you exhale, lay the mid back down, arms come down, low back comes down, tailbone lengthens. So we'll do about 5 more of these. You can do them on your own breath here. So it's a very wave-like quality. Good. The weather in Charleston today is gray. It's a little stormy. Just keep going. It's some of my favorite kind of weather. And I can say that because we don't get it all the time. But it's one that makes me always feel a little bit more contemplative, right? You feel kind of the nest within the environment. Good, one more cycle of a flowing bridge here. Good. And the next time that you're up in bridge, I want you to pause. So keep your arms overhead and then see if you can lift a little higher in bridge. And then maybe lift your chin a little bit and let your shoulders sink down the back. Good. So I want you to find 3 really deep and wide breaths here in bridge and let your belly expand here. Good. You look good. Those of you that I can see, you look very well aligned, very present. Good. It's one more deep and wide breath here. Good. And then exhale, bring it all the way back down. Good. You're going to pull your knees into your chest. And as you pull your knees into your chest, you're going to roll forward and we're going to make our way into downward facing dog. So go ahead and have the hands on the ground and hips up nice and high and make your way to down dog. And from your down dog, really just press back, press back, press back. Good. And then you're going to slowly begin to bend one knee at a time and pushing your chest back. You want to spiral your biceps slightly forward, right? So you're not closing in the sternum or the shoulders, right? Keeping the chest open, pushing the chest back. Lengthen the neck. It's 2 more deep breaths here, just kind of really dropping down, centering within your downward dog. Pull the belly in. Good. All right, so we're going to go ahead and drop down to our knees here and create some movements of cats and cows. So as you exhale, you'll round and draw your chin to your chest. And as you inhale, you'll let the belly drop and scoop the chest forward, looking up. And then exhale. So a few rounds of cat and cow on your own. Good. A few more. Good. Last one. Good. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to come into our seat. So if you'll come down to your seat now, we'll kind of move the spine around a little bit. I'm going to start out in the seat today, really start to open up the ribs for our twists. So I want you to sit comfortably. It doesn't matter which shin you have in front of you. You can always bring a prop up underneath your seat. Okay, but sit up nice and tall. We're going to bring our hands down to the floor or to our lap, and then we're going to move a little side to side in the ribs. And you can make this movement larger or smaller. Right? Good. And then we're going to start to move in a circle shape. So when you're ready, you'll just start to kind of spiral around as we begin to loose up the ribs and the belly a little bit more. And you can move your head around, whatever feels good. And if you notice one spot that feels like it's disconnected or sharp in any way, maybe you nudge there for a little bit. You give it a little bit of extra attention. That's good to do, right? We're not trying to pass through sensation. We're not trying to, check off any boxes here. This is really about creating a sustainable home practice so you are able to carry your yoga in your body, in your heart, in your words, in your thoughts, in every single thing that you do. Good. Go around the opposite direction now. And the beautiful and crazy thing is that there's magic within it, because all you have to do is show up to it consistently. And then the magic just begins to happen, right? It's like breathing in really good, nurturing air, right? You're in it. You don't have to create it. You just have to be there. It's really the truth. Keep going. It's a couple more times around in this direction. Good. And it will affect everything you do and all the people around you. All right, so back to the center now. We'll do a few seated cats and cows. If you want to switch your shins, you can. I always try to make that part of my practice. I forget. That's why this hip is tighter. All right, inhale, lift the chest, look up. And then exhale, round. When you round, pull the belly in to hold you from falling back. So it's more that than the hands. I look like a lurch here. And then inhale, lift your sternum and chest, big breath. And then exhale, round. So lean into it. And again, if one part of the movement feels more, you know, juicy or corrective for you, then you'll be there. And you can move around this too, a little side to side, where the shoulders, one shoulder drops and one shoulder lifts. So these are very organic movements for your body. Good. We'll do a few more. Good. Last set. Good. And then sitting up nice and tall, rearranging your seat, letting your arms reach up. Take a deep breath. Interlace your fingers down and push your palms away and open up your wrists. Really stretch them out. Good. We'll start to make some movements now around the shoulders. So we'll take this spiral movement and move it around into the shoulders. I like to close my eyes here. It just kind of helps me connect to the things that are moving in my upper back, where I tend to find most of my entrapment, really. Good. Keep going a little bit more. You can make them larger. You could push and pull. Good. Now we're going to go the opposite way. We'll spin it around. Good. Ooh, that gave me a nice adjustment there. Feel it through your sternum, upper back, ribs, side body, belly. 2 more times around, please, in this direction. Good. And then lifting it nice and tall, keeping the body looking up. Take a breath. Now push your sit bones down. So you might feel like it's hard to push sit bones down, but bring your awareness there. That will do the trick. And then lift your belly up a little higher. Now lean back a little into your sit bones. You're not going to spill back, right? You're sitting on top of the sit bone. You're not spilling forward. You feel those little knobs there? Good. Now lift your sternum away from your navel. We'll take one more deep breath here. Very light in the neck though. Good. As we exhale, our hands will come all the way down and we'll sit nice and tall. Hands go wide, chin to chest. We're going to move our head now in a circle shape. Good. This is kind of like a peeling back the layers practice, opposite direction. Good. One more time around. Good. And then side to side. Notice what's going on with your inner ears. How are they doing? Did you get a little dizzy there? You might have a little fluid in there. All right. Right hand stays down. Left arm reaches up. Take a deep breath. Pull the belly in. You're going to lean to the right. So you can bring the right elbow down to the ground and just push as you spill. Or if you want, you could have the arm lengthen. It's really a very different sensation across the ribs and the right shoulder. Good. Take a deep breath. Pull on your left thumb and your middle finger. Good. Pull the belly in a little tighter, go a little deeper. Good. Go ahead and left arm goes down. Take a breath. Roll the shoulders back a few times. Right arm reaches up. It's back behind the ear. Reach it up, and then come down on the left. And maybe you're in somewhat a very similar position on this side, or maybe it has to be different for you. Reach and pull. So you can land in it, that's nice, but I'd like for today to be a little bit more engagement, okay? So really push the breath and open up those ribs. We'll take one more cycle of breath here. Good. And then right arm comes down. Lovely. Walk your hands back behind you, the fingertips facing forward, and we're going to bring our feet down to the mat a little bit wide apart. And first, we're going to tick-tock the shins side to side. You can go fast or slow, whatever feels good to you. Keep the belly kind of presenting in and up. Good. And then we're going to keep our right foot on the ground, and we're going to take our left foot and cross it over our right thigh or knee. And you can lift the bottom right foot, or you can walk it in. You can walk your hands up. Now I'm going to turn my fingertips farther out to give me a little bit more of a kickstand feel as I'm pushing my chest forward. And then I'm going to drop my chin down. You can still keep this right foot lifting up if you want. You're folding yourself. Try not to round too much. So you have somewhat of a long back here. Good. These are great ways for men, male structures typically, to find a really nice hip opener where sometimes it's not very accessible for them in pigeon or even on the back. Good. Take one more breath. Push, push, push. Good. All right, so lean back, let your right foot reach forward, and then we're gonna bring this left knee over the right leg, and then the arms are gonna reach up overhead, pull the right toes back, and then lean down. And I want you to really grab for that foot if you can, and then drop your head. Maybe your chin hooks over your knee, your left knee. We'll take about 5 breaths here. Good. Go a little deeper now. It's got 2 more cycles of breath. Good. And then we'll come all the way back up. And then your arms are going to come back behind you again with the fingertips facing forward. And we'll bring that right knee back in. And we'll keep the legs super crossed here for a moment. And then you're going to come high up on your fingertips and turn them back out like a kickstand and squeeze in. Flex your feet. Drop your chin down. Take a breath. Good. One more. Good. So you may feel this wrapping around the sit bone. You may not. Good. So let your right foot come down to the ground. Let the hands come to the ground. Walk your right foot a little to the left, and then let your knees drop to the right. So I've got a twist here, a rotation, and then I'm going to turn my gaze forward here. Just take a deep breath here. You can stay upright. You can come a little closer to the floor. You can even, find your twist to the right or to the left here. It's a nice way to elongate the side ribs as you're moving down into the body. All right, you can move around within it. One more breath. Good. All right, from the center, go ahead and unwind your legs and bring your feet down with the feet together and the knees wide. So Baddha Konasana, feet. Inhale, lift your chest. And then exhale, go ahead and fold down over the space between your thighs here. We'll take a few breaths. Good. Push against it. I want you to get really long. See if you can create a little bit more space between the vertebrae. You could sway around if you'd like to, side to side. Move your head or let your chin drop. Notice where your feet are. Your feet in the center of your body, or it's a little to the right, or are they a little to the left? It says a lot about your structure. Right. Okay, so go ahead and walk the hands back. Bring your hands behind your back. Go ahead and bring both feet down to the ground for a moment. Roll your chest up towards the ceiling, and then press into your feet and lift your hips up. Let your head fall back. Good. So lengthen the tailbone here and squeeze the butt. And take 3 deep breaths here. Good. Last one. Good. And slowly you'll come all the way down. Beautiful. All right, set up well. And then you're going to tick-tock your shins side to side a little bit. Let it feel good. And then with your feet on the ground and knees up, your right ankle's going to come cross over the left. You'll slide it back and you'll create that kind of sandwich, right? So really push in. Good. This weekend, I don't know why, my kids were home. We had a really nice weekend at home. We don't typically get out Memorial Day weekend anyway, because it's kind of crazy, but we didn't do even the normal things that we do. We just stayed in, and we made grilled cheese sandwiches, and we made a baked ham, and we made peanut butter jelly sandwiches, all those kind of comforting family foods. Good. Push against it. Push against it. A little deeper. Good. All right, and slowly you can release it down, let the hands come down. And then you'll slide that right ankle over, and you can move around a little bit. You can push forward. Good, squeeze it in. It's internal rotation. I'm binding my thighs. I'm not just hanging out here like I'm sitting on my beach towel. No, no. And then we're going to walk this left foot a little to the right, maybe a lot to the right, and then just let the foot come down. You can have your foot on the ground or come all the way down. And then I just like to kind of move around. I can lean back and lean open. Sometimes I get a really nice opening I'm going to click through the SI joint nice and low in my sacrum as you're letting your sacral tilt. Good. Take another breath or two. Binding the legs, squeezing in tight. Good. And then we'll let the legs come back up. We'll push the left foot forward, and we'll keep that right foot down. I'm going to draw it all the way back, my right foot. Pull the left toes in, find your seat, and then fold forward, spill forward, and then see if you can grab your foot. If you can't grab your foot, you'll grab the back of your leg. It's fine. Take a deep breath in, and exhale, fold in nice and deep. Nice and deep. Relax your eyebrows. Good. One or two more breaths here. Really pull in deep. You feel this only in the back of your knee. You know that you support it, right? You keep a little lift in it, whether that's with a prop like your hand or a washcloth or your heel digging in. Good. So go ahead and unbind. We'll walk our hands back behind us. We'll bring both feet down to the ground. We're going to pick up for reverse table one more time. Lift it up. Bend the elbows a little bit and push the chest up. So you can bend the elbows and push the chest up. Take some deep breaths here. You can move the head. You can let the head fall back, whatever feels good. The body is really nice and open now as we begin to transition into more of our flow. Good. Last breath. Good. As you slowly bring your hips back down to the earth, go ahead and cross over the ankles and then bring your hands down to the mat, and we'll step back to plank. Good. Moving a little forward and back in plank, and then bring our strength here. Good. Pulling the belly in nice and tight. Good. Slowly lower your knees down to the earth. Pause, untuck your toes, and then let the chest and chin come down to the ground. And then inhale, press into the ground and find cobra. Good. So you can come up pretty high here if you'd like, or you can stay low, whatever's working for you. We'll take one more deep breath here, going a little deeper into the back again. Good. And then exhale, downward facing dog. You're always welcome to pass through child's pose if you'd like to. Good. From your downward facing dog, come high on your tippy toes and take a breath in and press your chest back. And as you exhale, push the heels down to the ground, keeping your chest pushing back. You'll do that 2 more times. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, high on toes. Breathing out, heels down. Good. Walk forward to the top of your mat. And once you get towards your wrist, take a breath and halfway lift. And exhale, fold in a little deeper here, moving your head forward and back. Good. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Let your arms reach up overhead. Big breath. Exhale, hands to your heart. Good. Take a deep breath in, my friends, and share it out. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. As you exhale, lean to the right. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, lean to the left. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, swan dive down. Breathe in and halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, hands come down. Good. Step back to plank. Take a deep breath at the top. As you exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Baby cobra. You're always welcome to do a full chaturanga and up dog. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. Movement should feel really connected to you. Your body's open. Right leg reaches straight back behind you. So what I want you to do is push the right heel away and press your chest back. So I'm not rolling the hip open. If you look underneath you, tuck your chin, and look at your right thigh. Try to get your right thigh and your right kneecap to look to the ground. Push back deeper. Turn your tailbone under, push. This is how you're going to lengthen that SI joint. Good, one more breath. Push, push, push. Good. As you exhale, you're going to step your right foot forward. Good. And then we're going to drop our left knee down to the ground. With our left knee down to the ground, we're going to add in the open hip now through the twist. The right arm is going to reach up overhead. Take a deep breath. So I'm still kind of kicking my left heel back. I'm digging my left toes in, and that's going to give me an extra, right? So my left toes are turned under, heel kicks back, even with the knee down. Good. One more breath. Good. Now bring your hand behind your back and let the palm turn away. Roll the chest open. Look over your right shoulder. Take a breath. Good. Right arm finds the floor. Very nice. Turn the back toes under. Let the right leg reach up and back. One more time. Reach it all the way back. Don't roll the hip open. Push it back behind you. Keep your right heel pushing back. Walk your hands slowly back to your left hand. You can drag it back if you don't want to lift the hands up. Keep the right heel pushing away. Push. So my right heel is pushing away. My left heel is pushing down. I'm leaning down into it. My head is reaching towards the floor. Take a breath. Good. Slowly, my hands are going to walk back towards my left toes. I'm going to find warrior 3. So you can walk your hands up your legs if you like. You can keep your arms back behind you or at your chest, warrior 3. And slowly, we'll begin to pull the right knee up into our chest. Take a breath. Good. We'll find tree. Press the right foot into the left leg. Find the hip opener. Press down into your left foot. Arms, branches can take whatever form feels right for you. We have 2 more breaths here. Be where you are. Good. Hands come down to the heart, right knee comes to the chest. Good. Step the right foot down on the mat next to the left. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Nice big breath here. As you exhale, float down. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down, go forward to plank. Take a deep breath and plank. As you exhale, you can lower knees, or you can do full chaturanga. You'll lift your heart, baby cobra, up dog, sphinx even. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Take a deep breath as you combine your toes, heels lift. Exhale, heels press to the floor, press back. Walk your feet forward towards your hands, please. When you get there, halfway lift on the breath in. And as you exhale, you'll fold down. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Reach up, reach up. Good. Exhale, hands to your heart. Press your thumbs to your sternum. Take a deep breath in, friends. We share it out. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. As you exhale, lean to the right. As you inhale, stand up tall. Exhale, lean to the left. As you inhale, stand up. As you exhale, float down. Breathe in, halfway lift. As you exhale, hands come down. Good. Step back to plank. Take a breath at the top. As you exhale, carry it down your way. Breathe into your heart as you open it. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. From your downward dog, let your left leg reach behind you and push the heel away. So look underneath you, make sure your left knee and thigh are reaching towards the floor and push your heel. So what I'd like for you to imagine is if we were in the same room together, I would be behind you with my hand, my palm on your left heel. And I'm pushing your left heel gently as you are pushing your left heel into my hand vigorously. All right? Take a deep breath here. Good, one more push. Good. The tailbone is lengthened, and then you breathe in and step the left foot forward. Drop the back knee down. Good. We'll find our rotation as we let our right hip drop and our left hip lift. Let the left arm reach up overhead. So my right toes are digging into the ground and my heel is pushing back. It's very active here. I'm pulling myself up through my heart. Look up. Remember the talk we had about breath and twist? Use it now. Good. One more. Reach it up. Good. Hand comes all the way down to the floor. Good. Look forward. Let the back toes turn under. Let the left leg sweep up and back. Nice deep breath. Kick the heel away. Push. Push. All right, so we're going to slowly walk our hands. You can pick the hands up, bear it back, or you can slide the hands back, especially if you like to stay more connected to the floor. Come all the way back towards your right foot. Push your left heel away. Sink down into the femur bone of the right leg. Drop your head. Take a breath. The belly is in. Good. One more. Good. All right, so slowly we begin to rise ourselves up into warrior three. And then your warrior three, you just use your hands. You can have them resting on your leg or out to the side or forward. Good, take a breath. Woo. Be where you are. One more. Slowly bring the left knee up into the chest. So it's the hinge from the hip, right? The opening of the hinge as the left knee draws up. And then we find tree. So we add that open hip. We settle in, we let our arms take whatever shape serves. And we find our breath. Good, you're doing great. Slowly the hands come together at the heart and the left foot slides down next to the right. Inhale, arms reach up overhead, big breath. Exhale, swan dive down over your legs. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down, walk forward to plank. Take a deep breath in plank and take a peek at you. Exhale, bring it down to the floor your way. Good. And then exhale, you'll make your way into downward facing dog. Good, nice job. Downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in downward dog, lifting high on your toes. And as you exhale, the heels will come down to the floor. We'll do that one more time, big breath. And exhale, heels down to the floor. Good. All right, so let's go ahead and step or walk to the top of our mat. Once we get there, we'll breathe in and halfway lift. And we'll exhale and we'll fold. Inhale, come all the way to rise, reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Breathe in, arms reach. Exhale, lean to the right. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lean to the left. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive down over your legs. Breathe in, halfway lift. Hands come down, step back to plank. Move through your vinyasa. Downward facing dog is where we'll meet. Right leg reaches up. So remember the cue, we're staying really close to the midline here. Push back though, and push the heel away. So I'm really squeezing the muscles of my leg. Make sure your right leg's not out to the side. It's narrow. You might feel your inner thighs kind of grazing against each other. Pull the belly in. Left leg can have a little bend to it, that's fine. One more breath. Push, push. Good. All right, bring the right foot forward again, please. Good. We'll find a twist with the left knee up. We're just going to build it in. Right arm reaches up. Nice deep breath here. Open it up. Good. Oh, I forgot that bond on the other side. I knew there was something. Take a breath. Right hand goes behind your back. Open up that chest. Look over your right shoulder. Bind. You can take your hand and grab your left arm, which I can almost get, or you can move around across the hip. One more breath. Good. So I'm going to begin to straighten my right leg. Stay with the bind. Push the hip back. Left heel comes to the ground. Roll your chest open. Take a breath. Long. One more. Good. Soften the right knee. Right arm comes all the way down. Good. Pause. So your gaze and your shoulders are facing the floor again. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Right leg reaches up and back again. Push it back. Push it way back. Walk your hands back towards your left foot. Push the heel away. Push. Really make this work. Good. One more. Push. Good. Find your warrior three. Find your warrior three. Good. Slowly from your warrior three, you begin to draw the right knee back up into your chest. Good. We're going to find eagle now. So the right leg goes over the left. You can always kickstand. The right arm goes under the left. Find the midline here. Lengthen the tailbone. Soft and steady gaze. Good. One more breath here. Good. Pull the right knee into your chest. Keep your bind here. Find warrior three with the bind. You can't. And maybe you're just moving a little bit here, but just you practice you. Good. Come back up to the center. Release the bind. Right foot comes next to the left. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Big breath. Exhale, swan dive down. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down. Walk forward to plank. Take a deep breath in plank. Push the heels away. As you exhale, knees, chest, and chin, chaturanga or to the floor. Lift your chest your way. Exhale, downward dog. Take a breath high on your toes. Exhale, heels go to the ground. Good. Go ahead and bring yourself forward to the top of your mat. Breathe in and halfway lift once you arrive. As you exhale, fold down. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Find your breath. Good. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, swan dive down. Breathe in, halfway lift. Hands go down, move through your vinyasa. Good. You'll meet in downward facing dog. Good, everyone, you look great. Don't sling that chest up when you're moving through your heart opener. Move from the belly. So as you drop the belly, although you're keeping the inner belly engaged, the heart just naturally lifts, okay? Take a breath. Left leg pulls back behind you, so push it back behind you. You can get so much out of this if you think about the alignment of the bone, the left bone looking down at the ground, the right bone being plugged in from the hip to the heel, and then press your chest back and see if you can lengthen your tailbone. So yummy. If you're letting your belly drop, you are interrupting the flow of the stretch and the chi from the low back, from the legs to the torso. All right, so take another breath. Good. The left foot comes forward, please. Good. Once it's forward, keep your back heel, back knee lifted, pushing the right heel away. Right hand is down, left arm reaches up. And don't forget the bind this time. Take a breath, reach up to the heart. So, you know, even I have a tendency to let my back heel be a little waggy. So I'm really going to try to emphasize keeping the right leg facing down to the ground. Good. And then bring your left hand behind your back, and you can hook it, right? And roll the left shoulder open and look over your left shoulder. Take a breath. Good. Long tailbone. Good. And then keep the bind, but begin to straighten your legs. Push back. Push back. Open up into the bind. This is a revolved triangle with a bind. It's pretty beautiful, isn't it? Good. Take another breath here. Good. The left hand comes all the way down to the floor. The front knee softens. Take a breath. As you exhale, left leg slides up and back. Big breath. Push it back. Don't roll the hip open. Lengthen the tailbone. Connect to your belly. You need it for the rest of the movement. Walk your hands back to your feet. Your foot, rather. Push your left heel away. Push. Pull the belly in tight. Find your warrior three. Good. So I always kind of soften my standing leg a little bit when I rise up. It gives me a little bit of buoyancy and more control. Good. Slowly bring it all the way back up. Knee comes into the chest. The left leg crosses over the right leg, finding eagle. Left arm goes under the right arm, eagle arms. Find your focus. You're doing so great. Breathing in and breathing out. One more breath. Use those calves. Use that calf muscle. All right. Keep your bind in your arms. Let the left knee come up. Push the left foot back. Find that bind in warrior three. You can do it. One more breath. Good. Release the bind. The left foot finds the right foot. Inhale, arms reach up overhead, big breath. Exhale, swan dive down. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down, walk forward to plank. Find your vinyasa. Remember, don't sling your chest open as you open your heart. Feel it as a connection from the root, pubic bone, the navel center, opening your chest. You'll meet in downward dog. Good. Downward dog, come high on your toes, breathe in. As you exhale, heels come down to the floor. Good. Go ahead and roll forward to plank, please. And as you roll forward to plank, you'll slowly, slowly come down to your belly. And if that means you have to drop your knees to go down slow, you will. But bring it down nice and slow. Good, very nice. All right, so we're going to practice locust. We're going to practice a full locust. So that means you're going to have your legs lifting. If that bothers your low back at all, then you lower the feet a little bit, or you just keep the feet on the ground, okay? That'll be something that we really kind of pick apart once we have the foundational modules ready for you, okay? All right, so once you're on the ground, keep your pubic bone pressing down. Your arms are down by the side of the palms facing. Traditionally, the arms are very close to the body. If you have a hard time opening up your collarbones that way, walk the hands farther away from your side body. You can walk the ribs underneath you. I always have to do that because my ribs tend to flare. I'm going to walk my toes back behind me so my legs are longer. As the pubic bone presses and the glutes kind of engage, I'm going to squeeze my calves, and I'm going to inhale and lift up. So lift everything up at the same time. If you can bring your big toes together to touch, great. If not, let them stay wide, but not super out to the side. Mine are kind of in the midline. So find your balance. As you breathe in, you feel more lift in the chest. And as you exhale, maybe you find more lift in the legs. But I want you to feel as long as you feel lifted. If you don't need the roots of your hands, you can let your arms fly. Good. Keep your neck really long here. I can see everybody. Good, you look good. Yeah, keep the chin slightly low. Look, oh, good. One more breath, rise. And exhale, bring it down. Good job. I love that. Y'all are the best. So once you're on the ground, turn the right side of your face down, let your palms turn up. So you get a nice little rotation for your cervical spine, your neck. Notice where you've landed on your right cheek. Is it on top of the cheekbone, underneath it? Is it more towards your eye socket? See if you can make it a little different. Take a deep, long breath under your belly. Good. Then turn your head to the left. Oh, it's not so stiff. Walk your shoulders down. Notice where you have landed on the side of your face. Good. Take your time here. It's 2 more breaths. Pressing down into your cheekbone, your eye. Good. And then the chin will come back down. So you can keep your chin on the ground. Big breath in. Exhale. Good. All right, so we'll do locust one more time. If you want to change up the bind of the hands, with your hands behind your back, you can do that. Or if you want to use the support of the hands on the ground, that's okay. It isn't really locust, but get long in your legs, pull the ribs in, push the pubic bone down. When you're ready, fly up. Good. And as you fly up, keep the back of the neck really long here. Your hands are really for support in whatever way, whether they're flying or rotating up or down, whether you have them bound. Squeeze the muscles of your legs up. If you're not squeezing the muscles of your legs, you are leaking out energy. You're just leaking it out. One more breath, rising up on the inhale. Breathing out and coming down. Good. Hands under shoulders, hips to heels for child's, please. So find your child's pose with the knees wide. Your arms could be straight and long, or the elbows could be bent, but try to get your chest as low as you can. Move around a little bit here. Take a deep breath here, and then exhale it all the way out. Good. One more deep breath here in child's. Good. All right, so from your child's pose, go ahead and come sit all the way up. And once you're seated, you're going to bring your legs wide. and then move around in your seat a little bit side to side. So I want you to kind of pull the sit bones back a little bit. And you can manually move your thighs to do that. Notice where your toes are. You can wiggle them so your brain and your feet get really connected here. Good. And then we're going to bring our right hand down to our right leg, and our left hand's going to go behind us on the floor. And you can have your fingertips facing in this way, so you're rolling your shoulder back, okay, this way. And then you're going to let your right arm come down. So you can stay right here. You could take this left hand, if you don't need it on the ground, and wrap it around your side body. You can hook it onto that right thigh and lean in. I want you to look over your left shoulder. Good. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. I always get some really good chiropractic adjustments when I breathe like that. Good. One more. All right, gaze will turn over to the right shoulder. Pause. Let the left hand loose and let it reach all the way up towards the sky. Take a breath. Good. Let your left hand come down to the floor in front of you. And then you're going to pick yourself up a little bit here and bring your right hand to the outside of your right leg. Look at your right toes. Lift up. And then as you exhale, you're going to lean over that right leg. You keep the left toes up, or you can let the left toes spin in, whatever you need to do here. You can walk your hands forward. You can bind, right? You can bind. Drop the left ribs as best as you can. Lean into the middle. Good. And then slowly, if you're bound, you unbind, you walk your hands back. Good. We'll take a gentle twist to the right. And then we'll move to the center. We'll take a gentle twist to the left. Good. And then we'll come back to the center. Bring our left hand to the top of our left leg. We'll bring our right hand behind us with the palm facing us. So we'll roll that shoulder back so we have nice and tall. Good. And then you're going to lean over to the left. And then if you can bring this hand to your low back. You can bind it. Good. You can bind it. You can grab onto your big toe, whatever you got. Look over your right shoulder. That just kind of directs a little bit of your weight and your energy to spill a little more centered. So you're not spilling so forward. Pressing down into your right leg. Find your breath. One more. Good. Slowly stay in it, but turn your gaze over to your left leg or shoulder. Good. Let your right arm release and let it reach right up towards the ceiling. Take a breath. Let your right hand come down in front of you in the center. Pull the belly in, pick yourself up a little bit. Let the left hand come down on the outside of the left leg. Turn the torso to the left leg. Breathe in. As you exhale, fold. Again, you can make the bind, but you want to try to drop the right ribs a little bit. So you're really trying to get yourself down the center of your torso without forcing. Good. Pressing down into that left leg, so you're firming the left leg to the ground. One more breath. Good. And then slowly we begin to walk ourselves back. Come to the center, take a breath. Take a twist to the left, really gentle. Come back to the center, take a twist to the right. Good. And then you'll gather your knees in together and you'll push your feet forward. Good. Walk your hands back behind you a little bit here. We're going to reverse our plank. You can reverse plank or you can reverse table, whatever works better for you here. You can point the toes or you can flex the feet and reverse plank. But I want you to feel that sensation of front body meeting back body. So one more deep breath here. And as you exhale, you'll come all the way down. As you come down, gather the knees into the chest and roll to the floor. Nice and slow. When the knees are into the chest, take a breath. Pull them in tightly. One more. Really pull them in. Wrap your arms around. Draw your chin toward your knees. Take a breath. And then slowly come down to Shavasana. So you can bring the knees down with the feet down, knees wide, or you could have the legs very straight. If you prefer, you can come to seated meditation. So whatever serves you today, that serves you well. Allow your head to gently roll from side to side. Relax your jaw and your brow. Swallow to moisten and soften the throat. Good. So allow yourself to stay here for as long as you can. Right? As long as you're able. Letting your Shavasana, your corpse pose, really be the death of the practice. The death of today's practice. So you can emerge rebirthed in some way. Thank you all so much for your practice and your time today. The light in me season honors the light in each of you. Namaste.